In parts 1 and 2 of these 4 10-minute films on the F-111 mission simulator, we saw the first 12 months for crews learning to operate Australia's supersonic strike aircraft. During their first 6 months, crews undergo a conversion course. They learn basic operation of the aircraft, how to fly on instruments and weapon systems. They have to adapt to flying a 40-year-old supersonic fighter-bomber equipped with the very latest in weapons and electronic warfare systems. During their second 6 months, instructors pile on the pressure. Crews are expected to do more than simply operate the aircraft as a standalone, low-level penetrator of enemy airspace. They are introduced to tactical thinking and use of the weapons platform as part of more complex strike packages. Now these crews are declared operational as wingmen and transferred to the Fighting No. 1 Squadron. If the F-111's deadly capabilities need to be used in anger, these will be the crews launched to defend Australia. However, their training is far from complete.
RAF Base Amberley is the home of the F-111. All of the boys and girls, the men and women who fly this aeroplane, come through the simulator on a very regular basis as part of their initial training and as part of their ongoing currency training. And here we teach them how to use the aircraft systems, we teach them how to fight, we put them into simulated combat environments, the likes of which they can only dream of. Anything that the aeroplane is ever likely to be called upon to do, we'll do with them in the simulator. We take the best, we make them better. It was a manpad.
Over the next 6 months, the learning curve rises steeply yet again as the crews are introduced to advanced leadership thinking and advanced weapons. They are learning the trade of the flight lead.
That's your mid. You shot him. Big thumbs up.
There were a lot of things that you couldn't do in the aeroplane that you could actually do in the simulator. A lot of the threats, the surface-to-air missiles in a normal training mission in the aeroplane, you couldn't replicate them.
Up to now, crews have been taught how to manoeuvre tactically to avoid ground and air threats. The pilot may choose to use terrain to avoid anti-aircraft fire or speed to outrun hostile fighters. They must coordinate with other aircraft in their package to successfully accomplish the mission. Now crews have to lead flights of other aircraft into battle and do their tactical thinking for them. They are expected to devise a tactical plan to respond to given scenarios and real-time changes in the battlefield. A typical scenario used to develop these leadership skills is where a crew leads a sortie to bomb a power station. The crew has to command a package of 4 strike aircraft to the target, avoiding enemy missile defences and anti-aircraft fire. Then they have to lead their flight home to safety. In addition, they coordinate with a flight of 6 Blue Air friendly fighters, providing protection against Red Air hostile fighters. And at the same time, coordinate and respond to electronic warfare information generated by their own sensor suite and supporting AWACS aircraft, which also play a role in suppressing enemy defences. The crew successfully lead their flight of F-111s to the power station and hit it with precision-guided bombs. However, on egress, the instructors throw a curveball at the crew to test their ability to adapt to sudden changes in the battlefield. Supporting fighters have failed to suppress all the Red Air. AWACS controllers alert the strike lead to a pair of untargeted Red Air MiGs that are now between them and a safe recovery. The flight lead has to think fast. Will they try to outrun the MiGs or engage them? Their lives and those of their wingmen depend on making the right decision. The flight lead is aware from the pre-flight intelligence brief that the MiGs are only equipped with infrared missiles. He quickly instructs his flight to turn towards the oncoming enemy. With the incredible speed of the F-111 and prudent use of infrared flares to deny IR lock to the fighters, the closing velocity of the 2 sets of aircraft make it impossible for the MiGs to employ their missiles. As the F-111s streak towards the MiGs, they fire a number of missiles opportunistically, shooting one of the MiGs down. But by the time the other MiG has turned, the F-111s are long gone. The tactical decision-making of the lead flight crew, coupled with the correct execution of the briefed defensive game plan, has saved the lives of their wingmen and produced a successful sortie. Once again, crews review tactical decisions made during the debrief and learn from any mistakes they've made. For their part, instructors are looking to develop crews to ensure that they display the necessary leadership skills to be a flight lead. As always, though, in this competitive and highly demanding world, failure to meet the required standards could see individuals leaving the F-111 program. These tactical leadership skills are tested in the real aircraft when crews participate in joint training exercises, such as those conducted out of Darwin, or Butterworth in Malaysia, or as far afield as the prestigious Red Flag, flying out of Nellis Air Force Base in the United States. The simulator team was able to completely model the terrain surrounding Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada for the Red Flag exercises. F-111 crews are able to extensively prepare for the exercises in the simulator before flying to the United States. This saves valuable time and allows crews to concentrate on drawing the maximum from these important war games. Consistently, Australian F-111 crews were ranked amongst the best in the world during Red Flag strike missions.
It was important that the latest EW gear came in because that drives a lot of your tactics and procedures. As you get new equipment, you need to change those, and the best thing you can do is actually operate the simulator.
We introduced some high-fidelity simulations of the electronic warfare self-protection suite, the radar ordering receiver, the electronic countermeasures dispensing set, and as well as the AGM-142 Popeye cruise missile.
At the same time as learning advanced tactics, the F-111 crews are trained to deploy the most sophisticated weapons in the F-111 arsenal. Maritime strike is a key capability for Australia's defence. The Harpoon missile is a deadly anti-shipping weapon, but again, advanced tactical training is necessary before crews are ready to deploy it in anger. Modern air warfare is a game of managing time and space. Flying low and at high speed, crews have only a limited forward view through their radar. The Harpoon missile is a long-range weapon, but they are facing enemies who can shoot them down from almost as far. At speeds in excess of 12 kilometres a minute, crews have a multitude of decisions to make in a short time before they can come to a targeting solution. The plane and its tactical environment must be managed. The navigator must feed the targeting solution to the weapon before release, and crucially, the rules of engagement must be applied to ensure that the target is a valid enemy asset. With its realistic simulation of different classes of ships and defensive weapon systems, the simulator allows crews to run through scenarios again and again. Instructors can allow crews to launch 10 missiles incorrectly in the simulator, which would cost in excess of $1 million each in real life. Crews can learn from their errors and reach incredible competency with the weapon. The more recent acquisition of the AGM-142 standoff weapon is another example of the mission simulator's adaptability. The simulator was updated to support this weapon, and aircrew were able to train in the simulator even before introduction into the aircraft. Thus, they were fully aware of how it would interact with this 40-year-old weapons platform. In a very real sense, the simulator was leading development of the F-111 fleet.
2006, an F-111 on takeoff actually lost a wheel. We were able to use the simulator to look at a number of approach options to get that aeroplane back for a wheels-up landing, approach and cable engagement. And once we'd used the sim to come up with the correct approach angle, or the most optimum approach angle, we passed those numbers to the crew airborne, and they executed it perfectly, and we ended up with a fantastic result of a safely recovered aeroplane.